shall we start the session? ആരുടെ റെസ്പോൺസ് ഇല്ലല്ലോ. Am I audible? Okay, so based on the basics we have gone through in the last classes, like the basic terminologies, mmf, flux, reluctance, etc., and then series and parallel magnetic circuit and laws of electromagnetic induction, that is Faraday's law and Lenz's law. So we are going to classify induced EMF. So what is induced EMF? So according to Faraday's first law, whenever a magnetic flux linked with a coil changes, an EMF is induced in the circuit. That induced EMF is the EMF induced in that manner is called induced EMF. So the induced EMF is actually classified into two: dynamically induced EMF and statically induced EMF. Okay. What is dynamic and what is the difference between static and dynamic? എന്താണ് സ്റ്റാറ്റിക്കും ഡൈനാമിക്കും തമ്മിലുള്ള ഡിഫറൻസ്? ഓക്കെ, എന്താണ് സ്റ്റാറ്റിക്കും ഡൈനാമിക്കും തമ്മിലുള്ള ഡിഫറൻസ്? Static means it is stationary. So actually there is no movement at all. We have already said when I was explaining Faraday's first law, there's a magnetic coil and a magnet. So as this magnet move towards the coil, flux linkage is happening. Okay, so in this case magnet is actually moving. So it is something like the EMF induced due to that movement comes under dynamically induced EMF. Statically induced EMF means there is no movement at all. Okay, so what will be happening there? As I said earlier, when I am moving this magnet, flux linkage is varied, so EMF is induced. So how to vary? So it is how flux linkage is varied. It is only due to the movement of magnet. So how to vary the flux linkage when nothing is moving? So that is comes under statically induced EMF. How EMF is induced when nothing is moving? So there are two types for statically induced EMF also. There is mutually induced EMF and self-induced EMF. Mutually induced EMF and self-induced EMF. So what is mutual inductance? So here, if you look at this, there are two coils. One is primary coil and second one is secondary coil. And I am giving an AC supply to the primary coil. So what is AC supply? So it will keep on changing the polarity. So it will produce a varying flux. Okay, anyway, supply is varying. Okay, it is going from positive 0 to positive maximum, then positive maximum to 0 again, 0 to negative maximum, and negative maximum to 0. So the supplies keep on varying. Similar to that, the flux also will keep on varying. Initially, this will become north pole, then this is also south, then this is south pole, and after a certain time, this will become south pole, this will become north pole. So it will be keep on varying the flux. So due to this variation in flux, there is one more coil that is known as secondary coil. EMF will be induced in the secondary coil. Okay, so there is no movement of primary coil and secondary coil, but what is happening because this supply is AC, the flux continuously varies with respect to the magnitude of AC voltage. So this varying flux will induce the EMF in the secondary coil. ഇതിന് ഏറ്റവും നല്ല എക്സാമ്പിൾ ഏതാണ്? ട്രാൻസ്ഫോമർ. The transformer which we are seeing on the roadside is one of the example of Am I audible now? ഇപ്പോൾ audible ആണോ? Yes. Okay. So the best example is transformer. So I'm giving a AC supply to the primary coil. So it will induce EMF in the secondary. So the basic working principle of transformer is mutual inductance. Okay. So there is no movement or moving part at all. Okay. So the change in current in the primary coil creates a change in magnetic flux through the secondary coil, which leads to an induced EMF in the secondary coil. Okay. One thing is you have to provide DC supply to a coil, and then you have to move something, move a magnetic field or something. Or, sorry, uh, you have to take a permanent magnet or a coil with a DC supply. That means it will give you a constant flux. And then if you move a conductor into that magnetic field, EMF will be produced. That is only because of movement. Otherwise, instead of DC, you have to use AC, so that without movement, there will be a change in flux. Flux will change due to the flow of alternating current or voltage. So it will induce voltage in the secondary coil. So because this is a varying flux, that varying flux is in contact with the secondary coil, so it will induce voltage. That is mutual inductance. So EMF induced due to mutual induction is ES is equal to minus M di by dt. Okay, it is equal to minus M di by dt. That is the equation for mutual inductance. EMF induced due to mutual inductance, where M is a constant, mutual inductance. What is self-inductance then? So when you are giving AC supply to a coil, the sum of the flux will be passing through the same coil. Some of the flux will be in contact with the same coil. It won't be traveling to the neighboring secondary coil. It will be having some effect on the primary coil itself. The effect in which changing current in a circuit induce EMF in the same circuit. So because of this changing flux which is happening near to the primary coil, the same coil EMF will be induced. That is self-induction. So if you look at this diagram, when you are giving an AC supply to a coil, it will induce EMF in the secondary coil. At the same time, because of this varying flux, EMF will be induced in the same coil. That is called self-inductance. So the equation for self-inductance, E is equal to minus L. Instead of M, you write L. That's it. Minus L di by dt. So E is equal to minus L di by dt. And we can see that energy stored in an inductor is equal to half Li square. Just note down that formula. Energy stored in an inductor is equal to half Li square. So this is the equation, this is the application of mutual inductance, or transformer is working based on the mutual inductance. I am giving an AC supply to a one limb of the core, and what happens is flux will flow. Flux is flowing in this direction, and it will induce, because of this is a varying flux, it will induce voltage in the secondary coil. And at the same time, because of the variation in the flux, in the primary coil also some EMF will be induced. So that is called self-induced EMF. Okay, the EMF induced in the secondary coil is known as mutual induced EMF. EMF induced in the primary coil is known as self-induced EMF. Okay, I think you understood the concept. Okay, the basic concept is this one. Either you take a, or you get a constant flux by applying DC supply, or by using a permanent magnet, then you move a conductor or coil to that magnetic field. Then you can induce EMF. So movement is required because there should be a change in flux. ഓക്കെ, ഒന്നെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങളൊരു പെർമനന്റ് മാഗ്നറ്റോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ DC അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്ത കോയിലോ എടുക്കുക, എന്നിട്ട് കണ്ടക്ടർ അതിൻ്റെ അടുത്തേക്ക് മൂവ് ചെയ്യുക. സോ ദർ വിൽ ബി എ വേരിയേഷൻ ഇൻ ദ ഫ്ലക്സ്. ഫ്ലക്സ് ലിങ്കേജിൽ വേരിയേഷൻ ഉണ്ടാകും. സോ EMF will be induced. So this movement is very important during that time. It is, if it is not moving, there won't be any induced EMF. Or else you take an AC supply and connect it to a coil. So what happens is, because of this alternating current, there will be a variation in the field. So this, because this flux is varying, field is varying, a stationary conductor which is in contact with this field will, in that stationary conductor, EMF will be induced. That is called self-inductance. And next we will learn about another term, coefficient of coupling. Coefficient of coupling K, it is denoted by a letter K. So assume that I am connecting, same transformer example, I am connecting an AC source to a coil A. So it will produce some kind of flux, and it will be connected to the secondary coil, and EMF will be induced in the secondary coil. So when I am energizing this primary coil, flux will be flowing from primary to secondary, and it will induce EMF in the secondary. But if you look at this diagram, you can see that few or majority of the flux that will be flowing from primary coil to secondary coil, and few amount of flux will be linking with the same coil itself. Okay, so primary coil എന്ന് ഫ്ലോ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഫ്ലക്സ്, കുറച്ച് ഫ്ലക്സ് എന്ത് ചെയ്യും, സെക്കൻഡറി കോയിലിലേക്ക് പോകും. ഫ്യൂ പാർട്ട് ഓഫ് ദിസ് ഫ്ലക്സ് വിൽ ബി റിമെയിൻ, ഓർ അത് ഏതുമായിട്ട്, പ്രൈമറി കോയിലുമായിട്ട് കണക്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ടാണ് ഉണ്ടാവുക. സോ 5-1, that is flux induced in the, or flux produced by the coil 1 is equal to, I can write like this. So sum of the flux will be flowing through the primary itself. So I am writing 1-1. That is, flux produced by primary coil will be flowing through the primary coil, plus the flux produced in the primary coil will be flowing to the secondary coil. Okay, so I have divided the total flux into two. One is due to self-inductance, some of the flux is not reached the secondary coil, it is ended up in the primary coil itself. That is known as 5-1-1. So it is produced in the primary coil and ended up in the primary coil itself. And some of the flux which is produced by the primary coil will be going to the secondary coil. So that is denoted by 5-1-2. So the total flux produced has two components, 5-1-1 and 5-1-2. Now actually I am interested only in 5-1-2 because whenever I am buying a transformer or similar component, what is my aim? My aim is to transfer maximum amount of input to the secondary coil, maximum amount of energy in the primary coil to the secondary coil. So this is actually a loss for me, 511. I am interested only in 512. So I am writing a constant, that is K. That is 512 is equal to K into 51. That means how much amount of flux produced in the primary reaches the secondary coil. Okay, you can see here 512 is equal to K into 51. Suppose if coefficient of coupling, that is K, is equal to 0. What is the meaning? Total flux at the secondary, that is 512, is equal to 0. That is, there is no coupling from between primary and secondary. All the flux generated in the primary ended up in the primary itself. None of the flux reaches the secondary. None of the flux reaches the secondary. And what is the meaning of K is equal to 1? That means 512 is equal to K means 1, that is equal to 51. That means all the flux produced by the primary reaches the secondary. That is some kind of some highly efficient system. Okay. What is the meaning of K is equal to 0.5? Just half of the flux produced by the primary reaches the secondary. That is the meaning. So you can see that K value will be varying in between 0 and 1. K is equal to 1 means it is perfectly coupled. All flux generated in the primary will be reaching the secondary. K is equal to 0 means there is no coupling between primary and secondary. K greater than 0.5 means it is tightly coupled. It is a better coupling method. If it is less than 0.5, it is not a good coupling. So there is an expression. What is the relationship between self-inductance of L1, first coil, primary coil, self-inductance of secondary coil, and mutual inductance? That is given by M is equal to coefficient of coupling K into square root of L1 into L2. That is the relationship between self-inductance and mutual inductance. Okay, ഇത് ക്ലിയർ അല്ലേ ഇതുവരെ? What is self-inductance? What is mutual inductance? What is coefficient of coupling? Self-inductance means, what is self-inductance? Flux will be produced by a coil. The same flux will be, because of the same flux, EMF will be generated in the same coil. That is self-inductance. Okay. EMF generated in the other coil due to the flux produced by another coil is known as mutual inductance. That is represented by letter M. Self-inductance is represented by L. What is coefficient of coupling? It is a term which says us how much percentage or how much portion of flux in the primary reaches the secondary. Clear അല്ലേ എല്ലാവർക്കും? ആരും റെസ്പോൺസ് കാണുന്നില്ലല്ലോ. So we had to do some few problems on this also, but today I'm not doing. I'm just going to dynamically induce EMF. Okay, dynamically induced EMF means the EMF induced due to a movement of conductor. So there is a movement of something. So assume that നിങ്ങൾക്കറിയാം, നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വലിയ ജനറേറ്റർ ഡാമിലൊക്കെ പ്ലേസ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ള ജനറേറ്റർ അറിയാം അല്ലേ. സോ ദർ വിൽ ബി ടർബൈൻ. സോ വാട്ടർ വിൽ ബി ഫ്ലോയിങ് ഓൺ ദ ടർബൈൻ സോ ദാറ്റ് ഇറ്റ് വിൽ റൊട്ടേറ്റ്. When the turbine is rotating, a rotor will be rotating. So because of this rotation, EMF is induced. അതാണ് ജനറേറ്റിംഗ് സ്റ്റേഷനിൽ നടക്കുന്നത്. That is due to the movement of something. So whenever this EMF is induced due to the movement of a conductor or a coil or magnet, it is known as dynamically induced EMF. Okay. So here you can see a diagram where these are all flux which is flowing. Flux is flowing in this direction. Assume that there is a conductor placed here, conductor of length L. Conductor of length L is placed here, or I can conductor of length L is placed here. So what is length of the conductor? L. Okay. L is equal to length of the conductor. So what happens is I am moving this conductor to a distance of dx. I am moving this conductor to a distance of dx. Okay, so the total area at which this conductor moved is, so what is the length of the conductor? Length of the conductor is L, and I am moving this conductor to a distance of dx. So what is the total area covered by this conductor is L into dx. Total area covered by the conductor, length is L, width is dx, so L into dx. And we know that flux density is equal to phi by area. And flux is, from this above equation, flux is equal to B into area. So we just found out what is B. Sorry, we just found out what is A. That is L into dx. And at what time it happens is at a dt time interval. At a small time interval, what happens? It moves. So I can write flux is equal to B into L dx divided by dt. So what happens? Again, I will explain you. There is a magnetic flux flowing from north pole to south pole where B is constant. Flux per unit area is constant. So you can see that it is uniformly distributed. Okay. So B is constant. So what I am doing is, in that field I am keeping a conductor. The length of the conductor is L, and it is moved to a distance of dx. So the total area is equal to L into dx. Total area is equal to L into dx, and it is covered at dt time interval. So within 1 second or 2 seconds, it is moved. So I can write, because of the equation of flux densities, B is equal to phi by area. So from this I can calculate what is phi. Phi is nothing but B into area. So area covered within that time is L dx by dt. So I can write flux is equal to, total flux linkage is equal to or rate of change of flux linkage. Rate of change of flux linkage means when moving from initial position to the second position, our final position, how much rate of change of flux linkage has happened. So P into L dx by dt. So I can take this anyway. Length of the conductor will not change, so I can take L outside. So I can write BL dx by dt. So in the next step, dx by dt, that is distance traveled per time. That is nothing but velocity. So I can rewrite V into L into V, VL. Now tell me, what is rate of change of flux linkage? So as per the second Faraday's law, the magnitude of induced EMF is equal to rate of change of flux linkages. So I can write E is equal to BLV. So EMF induced due to the movement of a conductor of length L is equal to BLV. Okay, again, once again. The concept is simple. So flux is flowing from north pole to south pole, and I have placed a conductor in this field. So there is a flux linkage now. Presently, there is a flux linkage. And then what I am doing is I am moving that conductor to a distance dx, or moving a distance to x. So that total difference is dx. Now total area covered by this conductor is, we know it is a square block, okay, square rectangular block. So area is equal to length of the conductor into dx distance. Now rate of change of flux linkage. So when I am moving a conductor from initial position to final position, how much flux linkage has changed, or rate of change of flux linkage is given by, normally the equation of flux is B into area. Now rate of change of flux linkage is B into D. Total area is L into X divided by, sorry, rate of change of flux linkage is equal to, okay, uh, E L D X by dt. So assume that initial time is 0, final time is 1. I am moving it with a, I am moving from 0 to position to x distance. So the rate of change of flux linkage is given by BL dx by dt. That means distance traveled by time. Okay. So distance traveled by time is nothing but velocity. So I can write BLV. Now suppose if this conductor is rotating, like as I said, there is a stator and rotor will be rotating so that EMF will be produced. If it is rotating at an angle theta, so I can write the equation BLV sine theta. So that will be the equation for EMF produced. Okay, clear അല്ലേ ഈ derivation? ഒന്നുകൂടെ പറയണോ? ആരും ഓൺലൈനിലില്ലേ? ഒന്നുകൂടെ എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്യണോ അല്ല മനസ്സിലായോ? ഓക്കെ, ഒന്നുകൂടെ പറയാം. ഓക്കെ, നോർത്ത് പോൾ ഓഫ് ദ മാഗ്നറ്റ്, സൗത്ത് പോൾ. കോൺസ്റ്റന്റ് ഫ്ലക്സ് ഉണ്ട്, എ സി അല്ല, എ സി സപ്ലൈ കൊടുത്തിട്ടുള്ള ഫ്ലക്സ് അല്ല, വേരിയിങ് അല്ല, കോൺസ്റ്റന്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഫ്ലക്സ് നോർത്ത് പോളിന് സൗത്ത് പോളിലേക്ക് പോകുന്നു. What I have done is I have placed a conductor here. That conductor is having a length L, and then I am moving this conductor to a distance x. Initially position was 0, then I have moved that conductor to a distance x. So total area covered is equal to L, or I can say L into dx, this distance. Within a time called dt. So rate of change of flux. So when I am moving from 0 to this position, how the flux has changed in the conductor. Flux linkage has changed. That is what we are going to do. So rate of change of flux, rate of change of, or simply you do like this, okay? Then you total area covered is L into x, okay? Total area is L into x. Phi is nothing but, we know that B into area. So what is area? Area is L into x. So B L x. Okay. Now differentiate with this one. D phi by dt. D phi by dt is nothing but rate of change of flux, correct? So when you are differentiating that one, you have to differentiate this also, d by dt of BLX. Correct? ഇതിന് മനസ്സിലായോ? ഒന്നുകൂടെ പറയാം. So what I am doing is, there is a conductor of length L, and I am moving that conductor to a distance x. So total area covered is equal to Lx. So I have the equation phi is equal to B into area. Now I am differentiating that equation because I want to find out the rate of change of flux linkage. Because rate of change of flux linkage is E. E is equal to rate of change of flux linkage. So E is equal to d phi by dt. So d by dt of BLX. Now which term is actually changing in that? B. Flux density will not change, it is a constant. Length of the conductor is also constant. When which one will change? Distance traveled will be changing. So BL dx by dt. So E is equal to BL dx by dt. Now what is distance traveled by time? It is actually velocity. So I can rewrite dx by dt is equal to BLV. So that is the equation of induced EMF when a conductor is moved at a velocity v, or when a conductor of length L is moved at a velocity v. EMF induced is equal to BLV. Okay, now suppose if this conductor is actually rotating, the EMF induced will be BLV sine theta. Rotating at an angle or angular velocity theta, so it is BLV sine theta. So that is the equation for induced EMF. Now write this problem, a numerical problem. A conductor of length L 0.5 meter moves in a uniform field density of 1.1 Tesla, that is B is equal to 1.1 Tesla, at a velocity of 30 meter per second. Calculate the induced voltage in the conductor when the direction of motion is inclined at 60 degree to the direction of field. That means B is directly given 1.1, L is also in meter, so directly substitute 0.5 meter. V is also meter per second, so directly substitute 30 meter per second, and theta is 60 degree. E you can directly find out. E is equal to 1.1 into 0.5 into 30 into sine 60, that is the 14.24 volt. Okay, we'll stop with this one. Okay, let me take the attendance. Okay, Anas Roshan. Anas Roshan ഇല്ലേ? കേൾക്കുന്നില്ലല്ലോ. Okay. Anashwar.
Sir.
Anugrah.
Sir.
Ashant.
Present, sir.